And so when I think about being restless, and when I think about being a Catholic Christian who needs to live out my faith, I hope that each and every one of us over these next 3 days can think about, I want to relinquish, Lord. I want to relinquish who I am. I want to be nothing more than what you have created me to be. I hand myself over to you. So each and every day he says to you that when you look in the mirror, despite what you think your talents are, despite what that perception tells you that you are, despite what that perception tells you what the world is, you look in that mirror and you say, Lord, I got nothing to give you today. Some days you might look at him and say, Lord, I have a handful of tears this morning. I am so broken and so hurt that all I have are tears to give you. And he will say to you, give them to me. I will break them and I will bless them, and I will make sure that your suffering is not done in vain. And I will make sure that those tears of your suffering and your story is meant to feed the world, so that when you go out into the world today, everyone that needs to encounter you will encounter you. And when they walk away from you better because of who you are and what you shared with them, that your story will be the leftovers that they will then feed others with. This is the trickle-down effect of our faith. This is what we're glorified with through the message of Jesus Christ, through the gospel, through the opportunity to give nothing more and to be nothing more than what we are in that present moment. When I wrote my book, Where Faith and Real Life Come Together, I just wanted people to realize that if we can form a relationship with Jesus in the world, if we can see God at work and we can see him doing great and wonderful things in the good and in the bad, if we know him out there and choose to find him, then at the end of the day, we won't come to Mass looking to build a relationship with him, because we'll already have it. But we will spend 45 minutes or 50 minutes, or maybe even an hour and 15. I don't know, Father. It depends on the homily. That's right. But we will spend that time encountering him and experiencing him to the point that we don't want to go home. And we will also look to give more than we receive. For when we become the church in receiving the Eucharist, as the Catechism of the Catholic Church tells us, that when we receive the Eucharist, we become the church. To not just be the church inside these walls, but to be the church for the rest of the world that never sets foot in here. To be the church, to not always take a mission to El Salvador, the Dominican Republic, where yes, it is needed and it is beautiful. But sometimes the mission that we need to plan and that we need to take is for the person who lays in the bed next to us or sleeps in a room in our home that we have not made peace with, or we have not done everything that we can to be their image of Christ. So if we know that we have the beauty of the sacraments, and we know that we can love God and experience it, and we know that he comes and he presents himself fully to us in the Eucharist, why aren't we all Catholic? Why do we have a church that is only half full or a third full? Because we need to be reminded, right? Every once in a while we need our prayer life to call us back to the beauty of Catholicism. Do you know the first 4 parts of the Catholic, the first 4 objectives in parts 1 through 3 of the Catechism of the Church tell us that we need to know God, to love God, to do good according to his will, aka serve, and to someday go to heaven. We are all just walking each other home. And so if my job is to get to heaven and we're journeying together, then you're supposed to be the one to help me get there. And if I see you as nothing more than a child of God, then I know it's my job to get you there too. Now that I've spent my time in ministry and I've given up my life as a corporate executive to do this full time and to be part of a ministry and to change lives and change hearts, that it's the same thing that God is asking from us. He's saying, if I place you here, and if you trust me enough to let the rest of the world do what it's going to do, I'll still reward you in the end. If you can be obedient enough to me, that amazing things begin to happen for the world because of your obedience, I promise you, I'm not going to take it away. Because we have a God that will meet us where we're at. We have a God that doesn't always ask us to run to him, but a God who asks us to just stand still long enough so that he can catch us. It isn't material things that we seek. It is Jesus.